Well, thank you all for coming here today. We really appreciate it. Our clients and their families also appreciate it. Today, on behalf of 4 minors, our law firms filed in Circuit Court in Montgomery County, Maryland, a lawsuit against both Montgomery County Board of Education, the coaches, principals at Damascus High School. The lawsuits allege that the coaches, teachers, and administrators knew about the Damascus High School tradition called brooming, wherein sophomore football players terrorized freshman football players by threatening to, and at times, sodomizing the younger players with a broom. The lawsuit further alleges that despite notifications from parents, other players, concerned adults, and officials at Damascus permitted that long-standing tradition to continue. The lawsuit further alleges that the defendants failed to supervise the locker room after school and before football practices, failed to protect the victims from the attacks, and failed to timely notify parents and law enforcement of the sexual assaults that occurred. The lawsuit further alleges that the defendants knew about the locker room sexual assaults at Damascus and at other high schools in Montgomery County prior to the widely publicized events of October 31st, 2018. But were wholly indifferent to them. The lawsuit further alleges that the defendants knew about the violent propensities of one of the attackers, but nonetheless permitted that student to remain in that locker room and on the football team. We encourage anyone with information to contact. We have set up a hotline number. We strongly encourage them to contact us at 1-800-277-0150. Thank you.
We're here today because the leadership at Damascus High School put a winning football culture ahead of a culture of safety, ahead of protecting their own students, ahead of protecting their own players. They knew that there was a culture of violence in the locker room, yet they allowed it to flourish because they put winning first. We are also here today because the leadership of the Montgomery County school system allowed the lead assailant to come to Damascus High School and play football, even though he had a demonstrated history of violence. Violent attacks on teachers, violent attack on another student, armed robbery on a student, and hundreds of complaints about his behavior dating all the way back to middle school. And although it was recommended that this assailant go to a special disciplinary school instead of Damascus, the school system allowed him to go to Damascus, to play football at Damascus, and then ultimately to be in the locker room unsupervised in October of 2018, where he led this violent and disgusting brooming, one of the most violent acts towards 14-year-olds in the history of the Montgomery County school system. These matters will all be addressed in this lawsuit and in court.
As each person speaks, if you could please identify yourself. The first gentleman.
I am Tim Maloney. I represent John Doe number 4 and his parents, one of the plaintiffs.
Sure. It's Tom DeGonia, law firm of Etheridge Quinn. We represent John Doe, another John Doe victim and their family.
Spellings in the press releases, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Bill.
My name is Billy Murphy. We represent John Doe victims 1 and 2 in the lawsuit. This is one of the most extraordinary incidents to ever happen in a public school, not only in this state but nationally. What happened was exceptionally dangerous. It was exceptionally traumatic, and it will affect the lives of these students for the rest of their lives. This is an extraordinarily serious matter. It's a lawsuit that we did not take lightly, and we expect that there will be, and we hope that there will be, a prompt resolution of this lawsuit in the days ahead. The facts that we allege are incontrovertible, and these incidents actually were real and happened because the locker room was unsupervised and because the authorities in this case were indifferent to the outcome that affected the health and welfare of the most vulnerable students in this high school. And to repeat what has already been said, the school system cared more about the football team than they cared about their most vulnerable students. This has to stop. This is a shocking series of events, and it will not be tolerated as long as any of us have life and breath in our bodies. We are going to pursue this aggressively and vigorously so that the outcome is consistent with justice and fair play. Thank you.
What do y'all want?
Well,
What are you asking for?
we're not going to be answering questions at this press conference, except to say that what we want is justice, and justice can be measured under our system only in dollars and cents. And so we expect that the outcome will reflect that. Thank you all for coming today, and we appreciate your time and effort and the investigative efforts that you have helped make possible in this case. Thank you very much, and good day.
Question clarification. The press release says the law firm representing 4 minors who were victims, but in the filing I see only 3 minors listed.
There are 2 separate lawsuits in this case. And when you add them both together, they will reflect the number of kids and the number of students that are being represented in this
both are
case.
in here?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.